every industry, every job site, any challenge. Purple Wave's upcoming December 5th construction auction has the Caterpillar equipment to tackle it all. We make it easy to connect, inspect, and bid, ensuring you can find the right equipment that's ready to go to work for you. The equipment is ready to inspect at our partner Copart's yard in your area. Bidding ends December 5th at purplewave.com. The easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment. purplewave.com.
Looking to turn up the heat in your relationship this holiday? Lovers has the perfect pleasure presents with early Black Friday deals that are as nice or as naughty as you are. Save up to 60% on the sexiest holiday gifts. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loverstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Black Friday week is here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday electronic gifts, like monitors, tablets, and video games. You'll have money left over for that drum set for your little drummer. And some noise-canceling headphones. Or an outdoor speaker system so the entire neighborhood can hear your holiday tunes. Oh, what fun it is to save. Black Friday week is here with deals up to 35% off.
Places, please. The Daly Migs Show is on deck. Guitars plugged in. Drums ready to go. Chickens. Other animals. And action.
This is the Daly Migs Show on The Rock with Taryn Daly and Steve Migs.
While listening to the Daly Migs Show, please refrain from any unnecessary finger gesturing.
99.9 KISW.
Good morning, Rockaholics, and happy Monday, one and all. It's the day after daylight savings.
Yeah.
And it always makes it feel like it's like negative 3 o'clock.
I don't even know what's going on right now, to be honest. I've never been more affected by a daylight savings than this time. I don't even know why.
Well, and then even just now, we were trying to change the time on the clock in the studio, and it was a whole kerfuffle.
Yeah, I thought Sarah was going to break her ankle.
It was a little scary. She was standing on a very wobbly chair, trusting that I was going to not let her fall to her death.
Also, it's 2024. Why do we have clocks that don't just set it back for us? Or make the changes for us?
Let's make some demands.
To who?
We deserve better.
Who are we telling this to? Ryan Castle?
Yes. I
Okay.
have no idea. Let's inform the Rockaholics.
Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download.
AKA the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Lawn. Today's a day to, well, I guess just keep eating your Halloween candy. I think that's what everyone's doing because today's National Candy Day.
Huh.
We still have a few left. We're down to just a couple of Reese's peanut butter cups and a couple of these milk chocolates, which I highly recommend. Don't let these fall on your floor at your house when you have a dog, because then you find out while you're trying to watch the Seahawks game that your dog, DJ, our puppy, decided to eat a couple of chocolates.
She's doing okay, though.
She's doing fine. Learned something new on Pet MD. First of all, I didn't realize that there was a website, Pet MD, but there is. They have a chocolate toxicity chart that you enter the weight of your dog, how much chocolate they ate, what type of chocolate, and they'll tell you whether or not you need to be freaking out.
That is really nice, though. At least for give you a slight peace of mind.
Right, because you just never know. I mean, you still got to monitor your dog, but I typed all that stuff in, and its response was, woohoo, your dog is fine. It actually wrote woohoo. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to believe it because I just don't want to deal with the stress right now, but she's been fine.
I mean, it probably would have been more fun to hang out at the ER vet or something than watch that game yesterday.
Yeah, there was no woohooing when it came to the Seahawks game yesterday. The Rams ended up beating the Seahawks in overtime, 26-20. It all ended thanks to this incredible one-handed 39-yard touchdown catch, which was made by Demarcus Robinson. I honestly thought it was intercepted.
Oh, yeah.
I was getting so fired up, and I was like, man, this game sucked, but if it ends with a win, I'm okay with it. But that's not what happened. Geno Smith had 363 yards, but he had 3 touchdowns, but also 3 interceptions. And the interceptions are definitely like one of them. I'm willing to give him a pass. I mean, well, he did. You know, because that one was, it wasn't his fault, the first one. But after that, it was just like, I mean, you can argue about the second one, but then there's still also a couple that should have been intercepted that went right into one of the Rams players' hands, and they just dropped it. It was just not a good performance for Geno Smith. It wasn't a good performance for a lot of the guys. The defense did look better. That was nice. But, man, I got to question our coach. Coach McDonald. I mean, I get it. We go into overtime. We just scored with a touchdown. Things are looking great. They're marching down, but then it's 4th and 1. You have to make the decision. Do you want to try and get that extra yard to get a first down? You're getting close to the red zone, which they've sucked at throughout the entire game. Or do you just want to kick the field goal and hope that the defense could then just hold things down, which they pretty much have been doing throughout the game?
Yeah.
Well, they decided to go for that extra yard, and it did not happen, and they ended up just having to hand the ball over. And here's Coach McDonald explaining why they decided to go for it.
That was a play call we liked. We liked the look. We got to be able to get a half yard in 2 shots. Great football teams convert 3rd and 4th and short.
Now, here's the problem. Great football teams do. I don't know if he's been watching the last 5 games. This team is not a great football team.
No.
And right now, we're not doing that. There's math behind. If you kick the field goal there on 4 downs all the way to field goal range, I felt like we had a great opportunity to go win it with a touchdown right there. So we went for it.
I will talk more about it with Mitch from Mitch Unfiltered. Mitch Levy will join us at 7:20. I'll be honest, I was more mad after that game than I was after the Buffalo Bills game.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday's game just was it's been a while since I felt like a real punch to the gut watching a Seahawks game, and that one felt that way.
Well, can we talk some happy football talk? And I'm talking soccer style.
Right.
The Seattle Sounders advanced to the Western Conference semifinals after an intense penalty shootout with all 7 Sounders converting their kicks. Goalkeeper Stephen Fry came through with a crucial save to secure that victory, and the Seattle team now goes forward in the playoffs. So at least we have something to celebrate in this fair city.
When it comes to sports, I'll give you another reason why you should be upset as a Seattle sports fan. Seattle Kraken lost yesterday, man. They got shut out 2-0 against the Boston Bruins. Boston held Seattle to 10 shots in the first 2 periods. It was not a good offensive day for the Seahawks and also for the Seattle Kraken. So that was kind of a bummer.
Well, how about this, though, Steve Migs? A couple Mariners just won Gold Gloves.
Wait, are we going back and forth on good news versus bad news in the world of Seattle sports?
Cal Raleigh has officially won the Gold Glove Award for catcher, marking his first time receiving this honor. And then Dylan Moore also earned his first career Gold Glove, winning for the AL utility position. Maybe next year is our year.
Maybe. For all of Seattle sports. Hey, Monday Night Football, if you want to watch some more football, tonight at 5 o'clock, 5:15 on ESPN, you got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As far as weather, 57 degrees. It's going to be cloudy today. The DMD is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above, and that's what's up.
One of the greatest songs of all time almost never got made.
What? Chumbawamba never made... I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
You're going to hear from the well-known producer that had to try several times to get the song made. We're going to hear from him at 6:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet and the not-so-secret secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whenever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout experience as business powerhouses like Aloe, Allbirds, and Skims. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The $5 meal deal at McDonald's means you get to pick between a McDouble or a McChicken. Then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money.
I got money.
Get the $5 meal deal today.
Prices and participation may vary for a limited time only.
Did you know that Johnny Cash almost never recorded his cover of the Nine Inch Nails song Hurt?
Oh.
Yeah.
And Sarah, do you know much about that song?
No.
So here's the Johnny Cash version.
Steve?
Dude, I spent a lot of time listening to this damn song when my father passed. It kind of got in my head. I don't know why. I'm like, when it comes to movies, you cannot make me watch a movie that's going to make me sad. If I know it's going to make me sad, I'm like, no, give me the dumb comedy. Give me the ridiculous action films. But with music, if I know a song is going to wreck me, I'm like, let me hear it. I don't know what it is about music as opposed to movies, but maybe because it's a lot shorter and I could get a good cry out and be done with it in about 15 minutes as opposed to 2 hours.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
So there was a recent interview where producer Rick Rubin shared that he suggested the song 3 times to Johnny Cash, but Johnny Cash kept ignoring it. Here is what Rick had to say.
We were always looking for songs. He would write 1 or 2 songs typically on an album, and then the rest would be covers. The things that worked best, the key was the lyrics. It's interesting to hear, because when I sent him the Nine Inch Nails song, he just thought I was crazy. But listen to it and you'll see. It's one of the only songs that I probably sent him 3 times in these compilations I would send of songs to consider.
I watched that interview. As I was listening, this sounds familiar. That's Rick Beato, who does a YouTube series, who's just this brilliant music mind. Like, he's a producer, a musician, all this stuff. If you're a fan of music, his interviews are on another level, and he had a great interview with Rick Rubin just recently. That's where it's from. Yeah, dude, it's crazy to hear that story again, because apparently Johnny Cash just wasn't like, I don't get it. Like, what? And so, Sarah, you probably never even heard the Nine Inch Nails version.
I don't know if I have.
And then when Trent Reznor heard the Johnny Cash cover, apparently he was not feeling that at all, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah, at first when he first heard it, he was just like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me, which is kind of nuts, because you would think, well, Trent, if someone said Johnny Cash is going to cover your song, I'm like, hell yeah, let's effing do it.
Well, then he saw the video, and that's when he was blown away.
I was also in the middle of a session doing something, and I stopped and listened to it, and I thought, oh, that's weird, because it didn't sound right to me. You know, that was my song, and it didn't sound bad. It just sounded something wrong. It sounded alien. I mean, that's a track I wrote in my bedroom at a pretty black moment, and hearing the unmistakable voice of Johnny Cash, wow, weird, but not right. Something wasn't right about it. And I only heard it that one time, and a week, maybe 2 weeks later, video shows up in the mail. I wasn't prepared for was what I saw, and it really then wasn't my song anymore. You know, really tears welling up, kind of everyone silence at the end of the video, and a lot of wow. I think that's another great example of, at least from my very non-objective perspective, when I saw the video, then the song completely was goosebumps up the spine, unbelievably powerful piece of work.
See, I guess when I first heard the song, I saw it with the video, and the video is just, it's heavy.
It's like black and white, right?
Well, it's got parts of like old footage.
Yeah.
So again, I went down this rabbit hole, so I know way too much about this stupid thing. No, so the producers, I think Mark Romanek, who's a movie guy, but then he was obsessed with wanting to do a music video for Johnny Cash, and when he heard the song, he's like, this is the one. So they went to Johnny Cash's like little estate where he had like a kind of like a museum, but it was all broken and run down and like broken records. It was just like a total vibe for the song. Mm-hmm. And I think June Carter Cash was in it right before she passed away. He's in it and he looks old. Like, it went from a song that was about a breakup to a song about a guy who's coming to terms with the fact that he's dying. And so it's just this haunting video of him in that like sitting at a dining room table with all this food. But then when they were looking through that house, they came across a bunch of old footage of Johnny Cash that hadn't been seen in forever. And they started looking through all these old reels and these old film and things along those lines. Like, so then they started editing that into the music video. So then it's like this, you know, juxtaposition of old Johnny and then young, youthful, rebel Johnny. And it just added so much to the video. And I mean, you get goosebumps even just thinking about the music video. But that's kind of what made the video as great as it is.
So do you like the Johnny Cash cover?
Yes.
Better? Me too.
Johnny Cash version is so much better. And I love the Nine Inch Nails version, but I mean, Trent's right. Like, that became Johnny Cash's song after you see that music video.
Absolutely.
Crazy thing is, then Johnny Cash's daughter saw the video, and apparently she went to Johnny before he died and said, that sounds like you're saying goodbye. Oh. Like, what's going on, Dad? And Johnny looked and goes, yes. And I was like, damn. That's some heavy stuff.
That's very heavy. Well, speaking of this song, we have a simple question for you, Rockaholics. But in order to ask it, you have to give us a call now. 206-803-ROCK. And we promise this is a very simple question. We want to hear from you. 206-803-ROCK. We will take your calls after Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The Daily Migs Show.
Earlier, we learned that Johnny Cash almost never recorded the cover of Nine Inch Nails' Hurt. And based on the Johnny Cash video for Hurt, there is a YouTube page called The Cartier Family, and they watched it for the first time.
Do you ever? I love watching YouTube channels that just react and watch a music video for the first time. It's always like iconic songs. You're like, how did you never hear this song? And then their reactions are always so great. And these, I think there's like 5 guys in this video, and it's worth watching for their facial reactions, not even for what they say, because there are moments while they're watching this music video and they just look heartbroken. Oh. Like one of the guys just has like this stank face on the entire time. Like, oh, what am I seeing? And then this other dude looks like he just saw a ghost.
They had an interesting question based on this video.
That was deep. That made me think of a question, a true question. If you guys, because he was saying he's old and all the people that he's lost, if y'all had the option to live forever, would you do it?
Hell nah, man. Get boring.
I couldn't imagine all the people that you lose over time.
Then you gotta just like do what I'm gonna do all day. Oh yeah, it's boring. It's boring.
You get old, you can't move. Like, like you don't. I'm saying this is
you don't age. What if you was a vampire though? I'd do it.
Okay, if I was a vampire, of course, I'm totally down to do it. Anytime of the week.
And this leads into our simple question, Steve. And we'll start with Nick in Renton. The simple question is this, Nick. If you could live forever, would you?
I already am. I've already been clinically dead 3 times, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to live forever.
Excuse me? So what happened in your life where you've been clinically dead?
I've burned 26% of my body. I've driven off a cliff. I've broke my neck and my back in 3 places. I've had a grand mal seizure. Each time I was declared dead, and about 5-6 minutes later, I'd come back to life. And they were like, that's not supposed to happen. I'm like, yeah, it's because neither side wants me. They're like, just send him back.
We're still not sure about this guy. The jury's still out. Do you must have an insane appreciation for life because of this?
No.
Good talk.
Just a regular appreciation.
Mental note, don't go camping or on car trips with Nick.
206-803-ROCK, our simple question for Justin in Ferndale. Would you live forever if you could?
You know, this is a totally different question. I thought you guys were going to ask. I thought you guys were going to ask about, like, your favorite cover song. But, yeah, no, definitely not.
No, see, I'm leaning towards that. I think I would want to live long enough. Because they brought up a good point. The whole, like, you know, you're going to witness people dying around you. And I think the older we get, that's the one thing that's kind of the hardest part, is that the people around you that are older than you are passing. I mean, I guess some of my pops and other friends I've had recently pass away, where you're just like, man, the grieving is really hard, and it gets harder the older you get. I think I would want to be around for as long as my daughter's around.
Yes.
And then after that, I'm good to go.
I agree with you on that, Steve. Simple question for Jim in Nisqually. If you could live forever, would you?
Absolutely not. Couldn't do it.
No, even if you stayed the same age.
Well, my thing is, you know, like you just mentioned, Steve, that you lose people around you, you lose the people important to you, you know, and having to live with that for eternity. If you love the way I do and you love the people the way I do,
yep.
No, I couldn't do it.
Plus, it's hard to make friends the older you get. If your friends die and you're just stuck around with no friends, like, what are you doing?
Well, life is expensive. Eventually, you know, the money's going to run out.
I think about that sometimes. I'm like, what happens if you don't have a job and you still have to live life? Like, it's going to be a rough go.
Rockaholics, we would love if you would join us at Live Night, which is coming back December 13th at Showbox Soto. We're going to be performing our show live. The men's room will be live. We've got a special guest coming to town.
This just in over the weekend, found out our friend, NFL Hall of Famer, one of the greatest Seahawks that has ever lived. I wish he was on our offensive line right now. Walter Jones is going to be joining us. If you want to hang out and meet Big Walt, he's going to be there as well.
Grab your tickets now at KISW.com. One thing that we're going to be playing that evening is Beat Migs.
Yes.
And we're going to play it right now as well. And Steve's got a record of 305 wins, 92 losses, and 53 ties in 2024. 206-803-ROCK. We'll play Beat Migs at 6:50.
The Daily Migs Show. Daly Migs Show.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
The countdown to Christmas is on, and Hallmark Gold Crown is here to help you ring in the season. From festive decor and keepsake ornaments to unique cards, gifts, and gift wrap, find everything you need to bring joy to your world. Only at Hallmark Gold Crown.
Every industry, every job site, any challenge. Purple Wave's upcoming December 5th construction auction has the Caterpillar equipment to tackle it all. We make it easy to connect, inspect, and bid, ensuring you can find the right equipment that's ready to go to work for you. The equipment is ready to inspect at our partner Copart's yard in your area. Bidding ends December 5th at purplewave.com. The easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment. purplewave.com.
Looking to turn up the heat in your relationship this holiday? Lovers has the perfect pleasure presents with early Black Friday deals that are as nice or as naughty as you are. Save up to 60% on the sexiest holiday gifts. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Black Friday week is here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday fashion gifts, like cozy fits and stylish shirts. You'll have money left over for those aviators that make you feel like a maverick. Or that ugly holiday sweater that's like really ugly.
OMG, that's like really ugly.
Oh, what fun it is to save. Black Friday week is here with deals up to 35% off.
The Daly Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs, you're
a loser. Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Dustin from Bellevue is. Dustin, are you there?
I am here.
I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
Bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Dustin has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's do this.
What team won the most recent World Series?
Dodgers.
Correct. A person trained to travel to space is called a what?
Astronaut.
Yes. When it comes to airport security, what does the T stand for in TSA?
Transportation.
Yes. The 10 highest mountain summits in the U.S. are all located where?
In the Northwest.
No.
Northeast.
No.
Alaska.
Correct. In Bob's Burgers, what is the name of Bob's wife?
Susie.
No.
Pass.
What kind of pizza has the same name as a tequila cocktail?
Margarita.
Yes. Your arm is made up of how many bones?
3.
Correct. Who is Ariel's father in The Little Mermaid?
Sebastian?
No.
Pass.
What is the official language of Greece?
Grecian.
No.
English.
No.
Spanish.
No. Rolo candies were first made in what decade?
40s.
No.
30s, 50s.
30s, yes. Dustin, you got 7 correct.
All right.
Okay, pretty good for the start of a Monday.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's going to be close, but, I'm rooting for Dustin.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, and Danny's not here, so Danny can't even root for Steve. So
he's kind of on an island over there all by himself.
Yeah.
I feel so alone.
You should. Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
What team won the most recent World Series?
The Los Angeles Dodgers.
You know it. A person trained to travel to space is called a what?
An explorer.
No.
An astronaut.
Yes. When it comes to airport security, what does the T stand for in TSA?
Travel?
No.
Transportation.
Yes. The 10 highest mountain summits in the U.S. are all located where?
In Colorado?
No.
What? Question again?
The 10 highest mountain summits in the U.S. are all located where?
In North America.
No.
Pass. I don't know.
In Bob's Burgers, what is the
In
name
Alaska?
of Bob's? Yes. In Bob's Burgers, what is the name of Bob's wife?
Barbara?
No. I wish.
I don't know. I have no idea. No, I'm pass.
What kind of pizza has the same name as a tequila cocktail?
Margarita.
You know it. Your arm is made up of how many bones?
3?
Yes. Who is Ariel's father in The Little Mermaid?
Phil.
No.
I don't know. Excalibur.
No.
Nemo.
No. What is the official language of Greece?
Greek.
Yes. Wow.
That was like a trick question.
It was not. And Steve, with that, you get 7 correct, which is a tie, 7-7. Hey, it's better than losing.
It is better than losing.
That's true.
That's positive attitude right there.
Right? He didn't guess Greek for Greece.
Oh,
I know.
He might be kicking himself over that
Yeah.
one. What did he guess?
Grecian, English, and something else. In Bob's Burgers, what is the name of Bob's wife? I don't think I've ever seen an episode of this show either, and Dustin hadn't. It's Linda.
Linda, yeah. Have you ever watched Bob's Burger? No, yeah.
And then who is the Ariel's father in The Little Mermaid?
King Triton.
Yes.
King Triton, that was his name?
Yeah.
He was kind of good looking.
Was this
pretty
this is an animated cartoon character that you thought about,
Yeah,
Karen?
Maximum Gains.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did he have a big beard?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you
Long
like
hair. You know I like the hippies.
Yeah. You like swole hippies.
So he kind of looks like your husband now, but just an
just
animated cartoon.
Whiter hair. More gray.
Oh, my gosh. Well,
And on the juice.
congrats on tying Dustin, Steve.
Migs, you were in Portland over the weekend and had a strange run-in with a kid.
I did. I've had a lot of strange run-ins with kids at these wrestling events, but this one actually led me to telling him that he's a disappointment to his parents.
Wow.
Because what he did was just so great and so epic.
We're going to find out what happened after Guns N' Roses.
The Daily Migs Show.
Steve Migs, it seems like every time you go and do any wrestling event, you come back with wild stories. And apparently you had a crazy run-in with a 10-year-old wrestling fan in Portland this
This has
weekend?
truly become my favorite part about going on these trips to Portland, because the Portland fans are kind of unhinged. They're just out of their minds. And their kids are even crazier. So over the course of time that I've been doing this wrestling thing, as I'm in the ring or just at the merch table, I've had kids yell at me. I've had kids flip me off almost every show. That happens quite a bit, which is super funny because like these kids are like 7 or 8 and they're just flipping the bird right in front of their parents, who are also flipping the bird. So, they learn from their parents. Kids have spat at me. They've thrown things at me. They've kicked me in the shins. But this is easily the first time that this has happened to me. And I thought it was the funniest thing. And I was impressed by his creativity and just like how clever he was. So this little kid, I think maybe 10 or 11 years old, he comes up to me. So during intermission or before the show or after the show, a lot of us just stand at the merch tables. So you're trying to sell like T-shirts, 8x10s, take pictures with the fans, whatever it may be. So all the kids get like flyers for the show, and they all come up and they get autographs from all the wrestlers, which is kind of cool. It's like a cool moment to be able to meet these kids. So this kid comes up to me. He's got his flyer. And he says, "Do you have a marker?" I was like, "Yeah, I have a Sharpie." So I hand him my Sharpie. Oh, he says, "Can you sign this for me?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So I sign the poster. And I give it back to him. He says, "Can I borrow your Sharpie?" And I'm thinking, he wants to get an autograph from the wrestler next to me because sometimes they don't have Sharpies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure thing. Here you go. So he has the Sharpie now in his hand, and he proceeds to cross my name out. And then just looks at me like he wants to murder me. And I was like, what the hell? And he leaves with my Sharpie.
Oh,
I was so pissed.
You got burned, Steve.
Yeah, so while the match was going on, the match ends and I'm leaving. I see him and he made a sign that's insulting me with my Sharpie. So, of course, I look at him, I tell him that he's a giant disappointment to his parents and that if I was his dad, he would never do something like that.
Wow.
That's right. I showed him. So I go, yesterday, I'm telling Tatum the story.
About you and a kid getting in a fight.
Yeah, so I was like, I wanted to get her 2 cents on what happened and how she feels about this whole incident. And here's what Tatum had to say.
So yesterday I was wrestling, and I was wrestling at this event, and this kid, he was like 10 years old, and he came over to me, and he had a poster, and he said, "Hey, can you sign this?" And he wanted me to sign the poster.
That's silly.
Okay, first of all, thanks for shaming me. She's like, why would somebody want to get your autograph, Dad? That's just completely stupid.
Right? So then I signed the poster, and he says, "Can I borrow your marker?" And I was like, "Sure thing." And then he took my marker and he crossed my name out and he laughed at me.
What? And then kids came out and said that to you people?
No kids ever asked for my autograph.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, should have just ended it right there. No kids ever asked for my autograph.
And then crossed my name out.
Yeah. Why did he say, can I borrow your water? And he, crossed it out. I hope he doesn't come ever again after the rest of you.
Oh, you don't want him to come at all? Okay.
Yeah, she's just full on, just blackball this kid.
I think she's ready to run security for you.
She'll bring her now.
As long as he's being well behaved, I think it's okay. But
if he does not then, nope.
But you don't mess with my dad, all right?
The last time it happened, buddy.
Let's play.
Okay.
Stop talking. Let's just play now.
Let's stop talking and let's just play?
Yeah.
Okay. Less talk, more play. All right, I got the forks.
And I got the spoon.
And we're catching butterflies?
Yeah, hold it.
What? The butterflies with a fork?
A fork and spoons. Did Harry come up with stupid games that you're just like, I don't understand what we're doing, but sure, let's go.
All the time.
So she made a paper butterfly, and I had to hold 2 forks, and she had to hold 2 spoons, and I had to throw the butterfly with my 2 forks, and she had to catch it with the 2 spoons.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right. So I would think then when she catches it, she could then throw it back to me. But no, then we had to switch so that she had the forks, because the forks are only the throwers and the spoons are the catchers.
Well, now I get it.
Yeah.
The butterfly game.
Yeah, butterfly game. It's very popular in Canada.
The Seahawks lost a very tough game in overtime yesterday, Rockaholics.
They lost the butterfly game.
They lost that too. But we're going to chat with Mitch Levy, get his thoughts on the game. He is the host of Mitch Unfiltered, and he will join us at 7:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet and the not-so-secret secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whenever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout experience as business powerhouses like Aloe, Allbirds, and Skims. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
With the $5 meal deal at McDonald's, you pick a McDouble or a McChicken, then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money.
Price and participation may vary. For a limited time only.
He is the host of Mitch Unfiltered, which you can hear wherever you listen to your podcast or at MitchUnfiltered.com. Good morning, Mitch Levy, as we wipe tears from our eyes after yesterday's overtime loss to the Rams.
Morning?
It is not a good morning.
Oh, my God.
Mitch, I'm really curious for how you felt, too. I mean, I was bummed after that Bills game. It was embarrassing. It was a tough one to watch. But man, yesterday's game was like a punch to the gut, and I was just bummed for the rest of the day because of that one.
Yeah, because you felt like you should have won yesterday's game. And there was really not a part, well, maybe there was a point early in the game against the Bills where you had fooled yourself into believing that this team could go 12-5. I don't know who was it that told me this team was going to go 12-5.
Well, I mean, I did predict them to lose yesterday in my little sheet that I started at the start. I've been wrong on a couple of the other ones, but there's still hope, Mitch.
Yeah. 8 in a row. They got to finish on an 8-game winning streak, and they finished 12-5. And Migsy's right yet again. But yes, Yes. There are certain days that I come on, certain Mondays that I come on with you beautiful people that I just can't wait for Soundgarden to interrupt. I just can't wait for the song. When does Jason, where's the song, for God's sake? No,
Mitch,
it was bad yesterday.
Can I tell you what happened yesterday? I was wearing my Seahawks earrings, and one of them just snapped. It didn't fall out. The entire earring just broke, and I think that was foreshadowing.
Oh. When did it happen?
Right, like middle of the third quarter.
Oh, jeez.
It was the earring.
Quarter.
It was the earring.
It was a tough loss to a divisional foe. You felt like at the end of the first half, those last 2 minutes, and it seems like so long ago. In fact, we did the podcast. We do the bulk of our podcast, episode 310, which is available now everywhere that podcasts can be found. We do the bulk of our podcasts after the games, obviously, late into the evenings on Sunday night. And watching the last 2 minutes, remember the last 90 seconds of that second quarter was so weird. The Seahawks had done nothing offensively. They throw a long ball to Tyler Lockett after the guy jumps off sides, and they score a touchdown. The place goes crazy. The Rams get the ball, and the Seahawks make a great interception. Reek Woolen. I liked him better when he was Tariq. Reek Woolen. He played better when he was Tariq. I don't want to be the one to suggest maybe a name change back would be appropriate. But when he was Tariq Woolen, he was like almost an all-pro. But anyway, he makes an interception, right? Puka Nacua, one of their best receivers, maybe their best receiver, he throws a punch and gets thrown out of the game. Dude. So now one of their best players gets thrown out of the game. The Seahawks get the ball. They throw another touchdown. And it's 13-3, and the point is that those 90 seconds were so weird, and yet so much happened after those 90 seconds in the second half and overtime that by the time we sat down to do episode 310, we didn't even talk about the weird 90 seconds at the end of the second quarter because it felt like weeks earlier. Like it was so long ago that they had that great stretch at the end of the second quarter.
I forgot.
To go in at halftime 13-3.
I forgot all about the Puka thing, but now I'm looking back on that's how I looked after the game. How sad he looked on the sidelines was how I've never seen a sadder looking football player. He's on the sidelines like I was like, somebody give that poor kid a hug. He looks like he's gonna cry.
Oh my God! Well, he got thrown out of the game,
but it took forever for him to leave.
He spent like 6 minutes at the University of Washington. He was a Washington wide receiver, and he's taken over the NFL by storm. And he had been out because of a knee injury, although he came back last couple of weeks. And then it looked like he had a recurring knee injury in practice this week, and he wasn't going to be able to play. Now that he was going to play. The whole thing, Migsy, the whole thing, and what bothers me the most because I'm a Geno lover. I really like Geno Smith. I like everything he stands for. I like the way he plays the game. You know, not since Sean Alexander, I don't think, and maybe you go back even beyond Sean Alexander to when Taryn was in diapers.
Yeah.
That there's been a player, and I'm not sure exactly why. There's been a player. There haven't been many players on the Seahawks over the years that have been this polarizing. Geno Smith, for whatever reason, and I don't really get it because he came in under extenuating circumstances. They traded Russell Wilson. He's the ultimate underdog story, so we all gravitate towards underdogs. He had held a clipboard for 8 years, hardly played in the NFL for 8 years, comes here and has some success. You would think that he'd be universally cheered for, yet there's this, you see it on social media. There is this faction of Seahawks fans that can't stand him. And they just literally sit and wait. They lay in the weeds until games like this, until he throws an interception that goes back 103 yards for a touchdown, or he throws a second interception, or he has a bad game. They wait, and as soon as you don't hear from him after the Atlanta Falcons game when he throws that touchdown at the end of the first half and he wills them to victory, you don't hear them when they're 3-0 and he's the highest-rated quarterback in the NFL. They wait, and then they get a game like yesterday, and they pounce. They're all over you, like – Geno, I told you Geno sucks. They ought to bench him. They ought to go get somebody. And those people just drive me crazy because I like Geno. And, you know, when he throws interceptions, they hurt. and then all these other Seahawks fans, they pile on social media, and it bothers me. So
I've never seen a guy with such a short leash when it comes to the fans. It's so frustrating. And then I don't
know why.
He got sacked 7 times. I'm not saying those interceptions. I mean, a couple were like, oh boy, that was bad. And I was like, I don't even want to go on social media. But I mean, how do you expect this guy to play well when that offensive line is red rotten?
Well, you've touched on something that's interesting. You've touched on the kind of conversation that we have on sports podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when you're, and I don't think a lot, look, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Okay? Soundgarden is entitled to sing a song that's going to interrupt us here any second. Everybody's entitled to their opinion about sports and a quarterback. And if you're out there listening to this radio station right now and you hate Geno Smith, God love you. God love you. Continue to hate Geno Smith. But the kind of conversation that we have on sports podcasts and sports radio stations and so forth is, you just kind of touched on it a little bit. You can't look at quarterbacks in a vacuum. You can't say, okay, how many interceptions has Geno thrown? How many touchdowns has Geno thrown? How many yards has Geno thrown? And let's compare him to every other quarterback in the NFL. And by the way, if you did that, especially in yards and completions, he would be at the very top. But that's neither here nor there. You have to, as you just started to do something, Migsy, that was brilliant, and that means it was a mistake. If you started
I was wondering. I was like, what are you talking about? Some crazy talk over here.
There are factors around every quarterback that have to be considered when you analyze a quarterback's play. How good is his offensive line? How often is he getting hit? How much pressure does he get? Yesterday, and there are stats and metrics to define all these things, Taryn. Yesterday, I think it was 57 or 59%. He was under pressure 57 or 59% of the times that he dropped back. That was tops in the league yesterday, and I think over the course of the year, it's tops in the NFL. You've got to consider how many drops does he have, his wide receivers. You have to consider his number one wide receiver didn't play. Right? Mm-hmm. His offensive line can't block and protect. His offensive line, their run game is bad. All of these things, there are how many penalties, brought back plays that he made. All of these things have to be considered when you analyze any quarterback in the league. And the truth of the matter is, whether you're a Geno hater or lover, those conditions under which Geno plays are amongst the worst in the NFL, and yet he has some of the best stats. Now, am I sitting here and telling you that the throw that ended up in 103 yards back the other way was a good play and that he should be given a waiver? No, he made bad play. He made a bad play. I for one said on the podcast that debuted this morning, I said, if you go back and look at all of Geno's bad plays over the years, they have a common thread, which is very interesting to me. The common thread of Geno's bad plays are he holds the ball too long. He doesn't want to surrender a play, bail a play. He doesn't want to just throw the ball away. And I'm wondering why he's wired that way. There's a lot of, I think there's probably psychoanalysts that could give you an answer of that. But like that play that was an interception for 103 yards, Matt Stafford, that was first down, Migsy.
Yep.
There were 3 more. It was first and goal. It wasn't third and goal or fourth and goal. There's a big difference between first and goal and fourth and goal. When it's first and goal, you've got 3 more plays. Matthew Stafford, other quarterbacks, would have thrown that ball out of the end zone a second and a half earlier than Geno. But Geno wants to make a play. Geno's going to hold it to the last possible second he's trying to make a play. And by the way, what Geno would say if he was honest with us this morning before Soundgarden, he'd say, well, wait a second. Yeah, I made a bad play because I held it too long there, and I got hit as I threw, and I probably should have thrown it away a second and a half earlier. And Matt Stafford would have thrown it away a second and a half earlier. But if you're going to analyze me on that, then what about all the plays this season and other seasons that I make because I hold the ball a little bit longer and I take a little bit of a bigger risk and we score a touchdown on it? You gotta consider those. Anyway, there's just a lot of factors around Geno that are making it very difficult to play that position in Seattle. And I would say to you, as you say, Mitch, it's time for Soundgarden. I would say to you guys that if you took every other starting quarterback, and you put them into the conditions that Geno has, offensive line, drops, no DK the last couple of weeks, penalties, pass pressure, there aren't a lot of guys out there that could play the position to the quality that he's playing it under those conditions. That's what I would say.
You can give Mitch a follow on X. It's at Mitch_Seattle, and he is the host of Mitch Unfiltered. We are going to play some Soundgarden, Mitch, and then we're going to talk more.
How did I know? How did I guess?
More with Mitch Levy after Soundgarden.
The Daily Migs Show.
He is the host of Mitch Unfiltered, which you can hear wherever you get your podcasts or at MitchUnfiltered.com. Good morning, Mitch Levy. We've been chatting about the Seahawks losing to losing to the Rams yesterday, and that was such a brutal overtime disappointment. And we're coming into a bye week, which I think we really need.
Oh, God. The last thing you want to do, the last thing any NFL team wants to do is lose a crushing game to a divisional opponent at home and then have a bye week. Oh, my God. We've got to sit and stew over this now for the next 14 days, Migsy.
Mitch, what's your opinion on the decision to not kick the field goal in overtime?
Yes. Yeah, so that's a good one. We spent a lot of time on it on the show today. There's two parts to it. The first part is the obvious, which is the decision that you're asking me about. I like the situation. As soon as they missed it on third down, I was yelling, go for it. So I was really happy. And so for me to sit here and say after they missed it that I didn't want them to go for it, they should have taken the 3. I'd be disingenuous. So I love the decision to go for it because remember the way the overtime works. They can kick the – First of all, hopefully Soundgarden isn't warming up. First of all, I've got lots to say on this. They can't block for a field goal. Forget blocking for a pass. They can't block for an extra point. Did you see the extra point that they missed early in the game?
That was infuriating.
The reason they missed that extra point, they can't block for a field goal. So who's to say – they're going to give Jason Myers the opportunity to kick the field goal, and they're going to get the 3 there. That's the first thing. And why do we keep having recurring breakdowns on punt blocking and field goal blocking and extra point blocking? Can we please clean that up? You know the last name of the dude that runs that? Migsy, do you know who the last name of the dude that runs that for the Seahawks, the coach? You know what his last name is?
I don't.
His last name is Harbaugh. You ever heard of that name?
Never heard of him.
we got the douchebag Jim Harbaugh's son running the freaking special teams. He can't even design a line. We got the one Harbaugh, as Hotshot Scott said on the show today. How do we get the short end of the Harbaugh stick? Why do we get that guy? For God's sake? Can they please block for a PAT? I mean. The game against the Giants, you remember the game against the Giants? They're lining up for a field goal to tie, and the guy jumps over the offensive line, blocks the field goal, and takes it for a touchdown. Can we please block somebody? Please.
It is great if we got that extra point that we wouldn't even have in this side conversation. We'd be like, oh, yeah, it was a tough game, but you never know. But, I mean, it feels like they would have ended up winning the game.
Going back to that fourth down play. So, A, we don't know that we can block for the field goal. B, I like the fact that they went for it on fourth down because, they kicked the field goal. If the Rams come down and score like they did, the game's over. They lose anyway. I want to go at 3rd or 4th and 1. I want to go for the touchdown. I want to go for the first down and then go for the touchdown. Here's the problem, and everybody knows what I'm going to say. The play call. Okay, they bring in this jumbo package. And a jumbo package.
They really sold that. They're like, the jumbo package is coming. I'm like, what is this? Let's go.
Well, it's exactly what you would think it is. It's a bunch of extra offensive linemen and tight end. You really have no wide receivers in the place. And what you're really doing right there is saying to the Rams, okay, we're going to run it. It's 4th and 1.5 yards. It wasn't, there's a big difference. Size matters here, okay? There's a big difference between a short yard and a long yard. 1.5 yards is a long yard, all right? When they bring the jumbo package in and the Rams call timeout, I'm saying to myself, please, dear God, there are some throws that you can make out of that package. There's like a tight end that you could release and you could fake, look like you're going to run it, fake it, and toss it to a tight end over the. There are. I'm just saying to myself, I'm praying. Please don't just line up and say to the Rams, we're going to run it and then try to run it, because you can't run it when the Rams don't think you're going to run it, right? You can't run it. You can't block it. You're not going to get it for 1.5 yards if you tell the whole joint that we're going to run and then you just try to run and be better than them. You can't. You're not built to be better than them. We've learned this for the first 7, 8 games, 9 games of the season. So I hated the play call. And as soon as they snapped the ball to Geno and he turned to hand the ball off, you could have hit pause on my TV, pause on your TV. The play was blown up before Kenneth Walker even touched the leather of the football. The play had no chance, 0 chance. So I liked the decision to go for it. I hated the play call. In fact, somebody said on our podcast this morning, one of the Seahawks guys, and I agree with this, if you're going to run it there, on 4th down, bring in wide receivers and make it look like you're going to throw, or make it look like there's a chance you're going to throw. Open it up and then run it in a little bit of a more surprise situation. I hated everything about that 4th down play except for the fact that they went for it. I like that.
Well, let's get some rest this bye week, come back strong against the 49ers, and hope for a better tomorrow for our Seahawks. Mitch Levy, thank you so much. New episode is out now, MitchUnfiltered.com, or you can listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mitch.
Now, Rockaholics, we are looking for someone who would like to beat Steve. And it would be very helpful if you were listening to the Men's Room on Friday at 5:40, because I gave out a cheat sheet with 3 of the correct answers for the 750 edition of Beat Migs. And he's got a record of 305 wins, 92 losses, and 54 ties in 2024. 206-803-ROCK. We will play Beat Migs at 750.
The Daily Migs Show.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
The most magical time of the year is finally here, and Hallmark Gold Crown has everything you need to ring in the season. So what are you waiting for? Deck the halls with festive decor. Trim the tree with our new collection of over 400 keepsake ornaments. Get your gift on with unique presents and cards. And wrap up your holiday shopping with beautiful ribbons, bows, and gift wrap. No matter what your holiday traditions look like, Hallmark Gold Crown is here to help bring joy to your world.
You ready, Ron? I'm ready. You ready, Dave?
I'm ready, Slick. Are you?
Get ready, Washington. The pioneers of combining hip-hop and R&B are coming to Muckleshoot Event Center Monday, December 16th. The legendary Belle Biv DeVoe, live in concert for one night only. Get your tickets now at MuckleshootCasino.com. Belle Biv DeVoe, live December 16th. Only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Got a hot and heavy holiday on your mind? Lovers has the perfect pleasure presents with early Black Friday deals that will get you off the naughty list this year. Save up to 60% on the sexiest holiday gifts. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention presents for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Every industry, every job site, any challenge. Purple Wave's upcoming December 5th construction auction has the Caterpillar equipment to tackle it all. We make it easy to connect, inspect, and bid, ensuring you can find the right equipment that's ready to go to work for you. The equipment is ready to inspect at our partner Copart's yard in your area. Bidding ends December 5th at purplewave.com. The easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment. purplewave.com.
Black Friday week is here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday electronic gifts, like monitors, tablets, and video games. You'll have money left over for that drum set for your little drummer. And and some noise-canceling headphones. Or an outdoor speaker system so the entire neighborhood can hear your holiday tunes. Oh, what fun it is to save. Black Friday week is here with deals up to 35% off.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Ray on I-5 is. Ray, are you there?
Yellow.
Ray, were you listening to the men's room on Friday around 5:40 for the cheat sheet?
I believe I was, but my memory is not very good.
Well, it's been a few days, so let's see if you remember. All right, Steve, it's time for you to get out of here.
Bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Ray has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes.
What do you call a baby panda?
Cub.
Correct. Long Acre Square was the original name for what tourist destination?
Pass.
What electronic company's name translates to 3 stars in Korean?
Repeat.
What electronic company's name translates to 3 stars in Korean?
Kia.
No.
Pass.
The only letters that don't appear on the periodic table are Q and what?
U.
No.
Pass.
What planet has only 2 moons?
Mars.
Yes. What word can come after stink, bed, and lady? Ray, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Pass.
What animated sitcom features the Itchy and Scratchy Show?
Simpsons.
Correct. Ray, you got 3 correct.
Oh.
You know, I will say, listening to the cheat sheet on Friday, you know, you have 2 long days. It's the weekend. So right. I understand you might have not remembered. But it's okay. There's always a chance. Steve could have had a long weekend. Who knows?
Right.
Steve, are you ready?
Yeah. I mean, hey, you know.
What do you call a baby panda?
Panda. Panda Junior.
No.
A Pandini?
No.
I don't know. Cub.
Yes, you do know. Long Acre Square was the original name for what tourist destination?
Excuse me, what?
Long Acre Square was the original name for what tourist destination?
Wall Drug?
No.
Tourist destination, Long Acre Square, the Times Square.
Yes. What electronic company's name translates to 3 stars in Korean?
I think I know this. I think it's Samsung.
It is. Wow. The only letters that don't appear on the periodic table are Q and what?
X.
No.
Z?
No.
Q and W.
No. What planet has only 2 moons?
What planet? That would be Uranus, Sarah.
Nope.
Saturn?
Nope.
Mars.
Correct. What word can come after stink, bed, and lady?
Fart.
No.
Wow.
Bug.
There we go. What animated sitcom features the Itchy and Scratchy Show?
The Simpsons.
Yes. Wow, Steve. You guessed on some of those and you guessed correctly. You got 6 right, which is a win, 6-3.
Ah, nice.
Sorry, Ray.
Yeah.
Have a good one, Ray.
Yeah.
It was daylight savings.
Everyone's a little off today.
And the only one you both got incorrect, which was on the cheat sheet, the only letters that don't appear on the periodic table are Q and
J.
Yes.
Holler.
I might have needed like 20 guesses before I got to J.
Well, that's why I put that, because Q you automatically would think of, but
right.
J you would think would be on there.
Like, I think I'd go with V before J.
Oh, for sure. Why did you choose V? I don't know. Well, congrats on beating Ray.
Thank you.
Live Night is coming back, Rockaholics, and we're going to be at Showbox Soto on Friday, the 13th of December. Everything will be performed live. And Steve Migs, you told us we're going to have a special guest that night.
Seahawks Hall of Famer, I mean, at legit Hall of Fame, not just the Seahawks Hall of Fame. Walter Jones, one of the best to ever do it, one of the greatest offensive linemen of all time. Our good bud, Big Walt's going to be joining us at Live Night.
If you want to hang with us and Big Walt, you should get your tickets now at KISW.com. Over the weekend, something really wild happened to me as I almost set myself on fire. What? Yeah. How did that happen? I will tell you after Nirvana.
The Daily Migs Show.
So over the weekend, I nearly set myself on fire. And I'm going to explain to you how this worked.
I've seen those after-school specials.
Oh, my gosh. So we have a wood-burning fireplace in our house, and this is that time of year where we use it a lot, right? So I was in the process of putting a new log into the fireplace, and this is early in the morning on Saturday morning. So I opened
How long does a log last as far as like warming up the house?
Depends on how much you've got it like dampered up or down, but an hour or two, a couple hours maybe, depending on how big it is.
Dampering it up and down is a
there's like
phrase
a damper.
I've never said.
It's like it allows more airflow.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so there you go. So anyway, I opened it up and the log that was in there went pop, which occasionally happens. You get a big pop, and like a couple embers flew out, and two of them landed on the hearth down below. I did not realize one had gone inside of my robe sleeve.
Oh, no.
And so I picked up my coffee, and I thought I spilled my coffee down my arm. I was like, ow, that was hot. And then I realized my robe is on fire. The sleeve of my robe was burning, and I was like, oh, no. And Barrett's right there, seeing my arm basically on fire.
Yeah,
so
is he traumatized, or does he think this is funny?
He probably thought it was funny, honestly, because he's 5 and, has terrible, opinions on things. And terrible opinions on things. So I went down and I'm almost like stop, drop, and rolling on the ground trying to get it
in your house.
Out in my house. And I have there's the little burn mark. It's nothing crazy, but I definitely it could have been a lot worse had I not realized what was going on.
That's insane.
Yeah, but we live to tell the tale, Steve. It was fine.
Well, it's funny because you got slightly burned on your arm from that, and then my wife got a little bit of a couple of burn marks over the weekend, yesterday during the Seahawks game. We didn't have time to talk to Mitch about this, but I wanted to ask him, how did he navigate being a dad when he had little kids and having to watch a football game? Because it's truly impossible in my house. It was just pure chaos. I think, who knows, something because of the daylight savings, things just got weird. But the dogs were bonkers. Tatum was bonkers. And I'm like, I'm watching the game on my phone because I can't even watch it on the TV because there's just so much insanity. And then all of a sudden I just hear a loud scream. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? My poor wife, she was using one of those blenders, the Vitamix thing. Oh, yeah. And she was trying to blend this hot soup in there. I'm not sure I don't know the whole backstory of how that all happened, but the soup was hot in the blender. And for some reason, it didn't stay closed. So it just kind of exploded. And it exploded all over. Thankfully, she's fine. But it exploded all over her face. All over the entire kitchen. And our kitchen's kind of this open area. So it's also in the living room. It's also a little bit in the little dining area as well. There was just this hot soup everywhere, all over the floor. And this is towards the end of the Seahawks game. And I'm just that should have just been a sign to not watch the Seahawks game.
We had a weekend filled with domestic dangers.
She had a little bit of a burn on her arm from it. And I was like, oh, man. I'm I guess I should stop complaining about not being able to watch the game. You nearly burned your face trying to make us dinner.
Well, I'm glad that Sid and I are not totally burned. That was pretty bad.
That's awful.
You know what was worse, though? The Seahawks game.
Yes.
That was really bad. But before either team had even scored a single point yesterday, fans were already mad. And a metal icon was to blame.
This was crazy.
We're going to go straight to the comments at 8:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned, and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whenever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout experience as business powerhouses like Aloe, Allbirds, and Skims. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Everyone knows social media is a time suck, and what you're about to hear proves it. If it's online, someone, somewhere, has an opinion and is whining about it. So let's get straight to the comments.
Guitarist Zach Wilde performed the national anthem at the Seahawks game yesterday.
Kind of crazy. He's performed at Lumen Field now twice in the last few months because he was with Pantera when they performed with Metallica at Lumen Field, and now here he is. I don't even know why he was in town.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But we do have a sample of the performance.
The whole time, like the planes are flying over him. He just looks like this like Viking god kind of looking dude. It's like this imposing figure just shredding on guitar. It was kind of cool.
Well, the Seahawks did end up posting his performance on their social media pages toward the end of the first half, as the Hawks were making many mistakes at that point. The score was 0-0 when people saw these posts. So let's hope that we can go straight to the comments and find out what everybody had to say about it.
It is pretty funny. Do you have the music?
Oh, yes, I do have the music.
There you go. Thank you. Can't talk without this music, of course. It is funny that the score was still 0-0 and people were just losing their minds because of how bad the offensive line was playing. A couple of bad snaps from Connor Williams. So some of the posts are about Zach Wilde, even though it's a post about Zach Wilde, while others just kind of go down a whole other road. So are you ready for the first comment about Zach Wilde doing the national anthem?
Oh, yes.
All right, here we go.
It was so much better than the rap crap we see all the time. How about we see some metal or hard rock do the national anthem? Horns up!
My question is, when have we ever heard a rapper do, and I saw some people commenting on that comment, like, when have we ever heard a rapper do the national anthem?
Maybe we need to.
We need to. That would be amazing.
I never thought I wanted to hear that, but now after hearing that guy complain, I kind of do. Like, I don't even know who would do a good job. Like, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Yes. Next Seahawks game, can he do the national anthem?
I'm going to go find that comment and give it a like.
Okay. So sick of this rap crap doing the national anthem. When? When? Please send me the link.
Right?
I don't think I've ever heard a rapper do the national anthem.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go.
I don't know what's more painful to watch. This long-haired stoner guy butchering the national anthem, or our offense line always finding new ways to up this game.
Well, I'm going to vote offensive line personally.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the long-haired stoner guy.
I'll take the long-haired stoner guy any day of the week.
That's always fun when you realize, okay, well, if you're not if you don't care about rock music, you have no idea who that guy is.
Nope.
Because I saw a lot of people like, who is this guy?
God, get out more people.
Can this big mother, whoever the he is, snap a ball? If so, put him in center.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would have done a better job than Connor Williams.
Honestly, I bet Zach Wilde could mess somebody up on the football field.
He'd be a little bit more imposing, at least.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the hell is going on with that guy. I know he was a free agent signing during the offseason. Like, they spent not a lot of money, but a decent amount of change. He was supposed to be like this stud center, and he's quite the opposite of that. It's infuriating.
I can't imagine how good this team would be with an O-line.
I can't imagine how good. I mean, I know Gino's made his mistakes. So if you missed our chat with Mitch Levy from Mitch Unfiltered, definitely check out the Daily Migs Daily podcast because he broke it all down about the Mitch hate, about the Gino hate and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if he had a good offensive line where he could actually have a moment to just kind of think about where he's throwing, I think this would be a whole different season.
Totally.
At what point does his team look at John Schneider and say, hey, man, what the
I kind of was already there last night.
Yeah.
Like, all right, what are you doing? At what point do we spend even a little bit more on the offensive line? This is atrocious.
We're fed up.
We are. We're angry.
Connor Williams, the best player on the Rams.
You're not wrong.
Sad.
At least in the first half, he was really kind of... When he almost threw the ball over Gino's head again, I was just like, we're kidding, right? This is a giant prank show that we're just now finding out that we're a part of.
Put me in, coach.
Hanging up the jersey. See y'all next year. This team is over with.
Wow. Don't be a quitter.
Honestly, I know this is stupid, and I am an idiot, and I have false hope. I still think the Mariners are going to win the World Series every year. I look at the NFC West, and this is just a complete garbage division right now when it comes to like the overall record for the teams. I mean, they're not even close to being out of it yet. I mean, they're trying. They certainly are trying, but it's anybody's chance right now to be the top team in the NFC West.
Absolutely. Rockaholics, there is a well-known musician who just gave a guitar to a young girl about a year ago, and it inspired her to learn how to play. So she did that, and he ended up bringing her on stage to play a song with him. So do you want to know how that went? We will tell you all about it during What's Trending after 3 Doors Down.
The Daily Migs Show.
We know that for many of you, you're just waking up and trying to get through your morning with a little window into the world of pop culture, and that can be tough. So we're here to help you process everything by telling you what's trending.
What's trending? On the Daily Migs Show. What's trending? Let's go. Let's go.
Post Malone helped a young girl named Winter on her musical journey by gifting her a guitar last year. But then he had a recent Nashville concert where he brought her up on stage and they performed the song Stay together. Here's a clip from that performance.
Can we have a little conversation with no intoxication? Carry on with it's a motivation. We're never wrong. How the hell we gonna make it? Stay. Yeah.
And the crazy part is right after that performance, he took the guitar back because she did such a bad job. No, I'm joking. That's so awesome. Could you imagine what a full circle moment? Here's a guitar, which is cool enough as it is. I love those stories when like I've heard stories of like Eddie Vedder doing that, like in Hawaii before, where he gives a guitar, he gifts it to some people or something along those lines. But then to have like, I don't know if he remembered that or like she reached out to him, how that all kind of came together. But then to have like that full circle moment, like, all right, you learned how to play on this guitar I gave you. Now come up with that guitar and perform a song with me.
Prove it to everyone.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she was great.
That'd be great if she's like, I sold it on eBay. I don't have the guitar anymore. I'm sorry, guys. Did you catch any of what happened with Jason Kelce? You know, he's a football player, played with the Philadelphia Eagles. He does that podcast with his brother. He's now retired. He's always hanging out, partying, having a great time. I mean, it inspired a Funko Pop of him being shirtless, wearing drinking a beer because he was doing that while watching his brother play in the playoffs. He was leaving the Penn State-Ohio State game when some guy, an idiot, was just like yelling at him to like take a picture or sign an autograph, and then said something to the extent of like, hey, how does it feel to have your brother dating Taylor Swift, but then called his brother Travis a slur, the F word. And then Jason kind of snapped and took his phone and threw it down. We have I guess it's a pieced together audio from multiple people who were filming it. And here's how it all sounded.
Can we
Oh, wrong.
That's so sweet.
Hey, Kelsey! How do you feel your brother's a
Also, just in general, I mean, like when you break down that whole insult, like that makes no sense.
No.
Right?
Like, I mean, for many reasons, it's stupid, but he's dating arguably one of the hot, I mean, I know some people maybe disagree, but one of the hottest women and one of the biggest stars in the world, and you're trying to be like, how does it feel that he's...
It's weird.
Super weird, yeah.
Kelsey, can I get a fist bump? Kelsey, can I get a fist bump?
And that's the moment where he took that person's cell phone and just threw it down. Now that part was where I just kind of like had a. I get he's mad. So if you can't hear because he's obviously being bleeped, let's just say the guy called him a dummy. And then he took the phone, smashed, and he's like, who's the dummy now? Who's the dummy now? And that's what he was saying, which I'm like, man.
Could have left that part out.
I mean, I get you're mad, but I mean, it's already an ignorant statement as it is. You don't need to double down on that. You could have just broke the phone, and I would be like, you're right. Good on you. But I think maybe some people are even saying, like, maybe it's a point where he shouldn't just be around drunk football fans, and if he is, maybe have some security with him.
Yeah, he's got a little short fuse, you know? He's a teddy bear until he's not. I don't know.
Well, yeah, you're insulting his brother. That was just a very strange thing that happened over the weekend, but it was all over social media.
And he's definitely the person that you would not want to make mad because he's a giant dude.
Yes.
Speaking of giant dudes, Steve Migs deserves to go down today. How tall are you, Steve? 6'2", 3?
6'3".
6'3". He's a big guy. And he's got a record of 306 wins, 92 losses, and 54 ties in 2024. 206-803-ROCK. We will play Beat Migs at 8:50.
The Daily Migs Show.
At National Geographic Society, we believe in the power of wonder. We're supporting a new generation of explorers to ask questions, make breakthroughs, and bring the future closer. Wonder awaits. Will you join us? Visit natgeo.org/wonder.
With the $5 meal deal at McDonald's, you pick a McDouble or a McChicken, then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money.
Price and participation may vary. For a limited time only.
Every industry, every job site, any challenge. Purple Wave's upcoming December 5th construction auction has the Caterpillar equipment to tackle it all. We make it easy to connect, inspect, and bid, ensuring you can find the right equipment that's ready to go to work for you. The equipment is ready to inspect at our partner Copart's yard in your area. Bidding ends December 5th at purplewave.com. The easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment. purplewave.com.
Looking to turn up the heat in your relationship this holiday? Lovers has the perfect pleasure presents with early Black Friday deals that are as nice or as naughty as you are. Save up to 60% on the sexiest holiday gifts. Lovers Rewards members can win a holiday sweepstakes grand prize worth over $4,000. With 18 Western Washington locations, Lovers is the place for sexy holiday gifting. Mention Indulge for 20% off your purchase. Visit loversstores.com for official sweepstakes rules.
Black Friday week is here, and so are amazing deals at Amazon. You'll save so much on early holiday gifts for the kids, like arts, crafts, games, and tech. You'll have money left over for some new board games to boost the kids' confidence.
Ah, you won again.
Or that multi-voice changing megaphone so you can really spread the cheer.
Happy holidays.
Oh, what fun it is to save. Black Friday week is here with deals up to 35% off.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs, you're
a loser. Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Scott from Oak Harbor is. Scott, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
Bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Scott has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Who was the lead singer of Soundgarden?
Oh, Chris Cornell?
Correct. How many cards are in a standard deck?
52.
Yes. Speedy was the first ever mascot for what fast food chain?
Repeat.
Speedy was the first ever mascot for what fast food chain?
Pass.
Chrysanthemums are the birth flower for what month?
May, June, July.
No. In mathematics, which theory focuses on the measurement and properties of shapes and figures?
Geometry.
Correct. Beginning with D, what is the real first name of Larry the Cable Guy?
No clue. Pass.
Who did the Seahawks play yesterday?
The stupid Rams.
Correct. In The Lion King, who is Simba's dad?
Mufasa.
Yes. What instrument did Louis Armstrong play?
Trumpet.
Yes. The arcade video game Space Invaders came out in what decade?
80s.
No.
70s.
Yes. Speedy was the first ever mascot for what fast food chain?
Charles Jr.
No. Scott, you got 7 correct.
We can work with this, Scott.
It's my second highest score ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you win when you got your first highest score?
Yeah, it was the perfect 10. But the last time I was able to get through was pre-COVID, and my all-time record is 5-3-2.
Wow. All right. Well, Steve, are you ready?
Yes.
Who was the lead singer of Soundgarden?
Oh, Chris Cornell.
Correct. How many cards are in a standard deck?
52.
Yes. Speedy was the first ever mascot for what fast food chain?
Jimmy John's?
No. That would make sense, though.
Domino's?
No.
Taco Bell.
No. Chrysanthemums are the birth flower for what month?
November?
Yes.
Yeah.
In mathematics, which theory focuses on the measurement and properties of shapes and figures?
Is that like trigonometry?
No.
Oh. Numberometry?
No.
Cryptopody?
No. Beginning with D, what is the real first name of Larry the Cable Guy?
Daniel?
Yes. Wow. Who did the Seahawks play yesterday?
I already forgot what happened yesterday. I like to keep it that way, but it's the Los Angeles Rams.
It is. In The Lion King, who is Simba's dad?
Mufasa.
Correct. What instrument did Louis Armstrong play?
Trumpet.
Yes. The arcade video.
I couldn't tell.
I think he said, damn it.
Damn it. Okay. I didn't know if he said the S words. I was like, let me be safe.
Yeah.
To be extra safe, so I won.
Yeah, you did win 8-7. You just wanted me to repeat that.
Well, because we had to dump the audio, and I didn't want anyone to miss out knowing that I won the game.
Oh, yeah, of course. You both did not know the first ever mascot named Speedy was for...
Karen?
I don't know.
McDonald's.
McDonald's?
Oh, really?
Yeah. What was Speedy, a mouse?
I don't know, actually, now that you say that. Well, I mean, it's better than Ronald McDonald.
He's a little creepy.
He's hella creepy.
You two need to watch your mouth.
You're a Ronald McDonald lover?
I love all the characters from McDonald's.
You don't think he's a little scary?
No, I'm not scared of clowns.
I'm not either, but he still looks weird.
He looks lovable and a person that you'd want to grab a burger with.
Absolutely not.
He looks super he looks like the safest clown of all the clowns. Like, if you were going to line up a bunch of iconic clowns, and which one would you not cross the street to get away from? I feel like Ronald's the one that I'm going to stick around and say hi to.
I'm a JP Patches girl, personally.
Yeah, but he's just local. I'm talking like on a national level.
It has a balloon, and I love balloons.
And that guy's name's Pennywise.
Oh, Pennywise has a balloon, so I'm going with Pennywise.
Ronald's got a Big Mac.
Says you're talking to a vegetarian here, okay?
Ronald's
that does nothing for me.
A crap ton of delicious fries.
No. Well, congrats, Steve, on beating Scott.
Yes, Steve Migs won, but the Seahawks lost.
Oh.
And one player held a press conference to apologize to the fans. You're going to hear what he said after Pearl Jam. During his press conference after the loss, Geno Smith went on to apologize to us Seahawks fans.
Oh, yeah. It was very somber looking, too. He looked very sad, which turned into a lot of memes. I'm like, damn it, I don't want to see these memes of Geno.
It's breaking my heart.
But here he is during the press conference.
First of all, I just want to really start out by apologizing to my teammates, really, and to the city, to the organization. They put a lot of trust in me with my decision making, and when they put the ball in my hands, when my teammates play the way they played today and give us a shot to win the game, I got to make sure we do. Things I did today, mistakes that I made, they affected us negatively, and really cost us the game today. Me knowing myself, I know how much this is going to hurt. I'm gonna step it up though. That's how I feel about it. I'm gonna step it up.
At what point do shouldn't you have stepped it up? I love Geno, but like whenever you hear players say like it all ends today, and then it's like, well, you could have had that mindset maybe 9 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I don't mean to be that guy. I do give him credit though, because last week the press conference was short and sweet, and you could just tell he was not in a good mood. So I wonder, that he realized, okay, I got kind of crucified for that. People were kind of not happy with that. Maybe, okay, I know we lost, but let me go into this press conference to be a little less short with the reporters.
For sure.
And someone did have a follow-up question about what he was talking about.
What is it about this particular loss that has you apologizing? Well, I just feel like our team played extremely well. And, again, man, I thought our crowd was in it the entire time. I mean, it was electric in there. And
He's right. It was super loud. Even watching on TV, like, the place was just rocking.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in that last couple of minutes in the first half.
Oh.
So good.
Go Hawks.
Knowing myself, man, knowing how much work I put in, knowing the standard I have for myself. If I do my job and, don't have those turnovers, don't have that pick six, that's a 14-point swing right there. We win that game, in my opinion. And so when that's the case, I look directly at myself. I look in the mirror and I say, what do I have to do? And I know what I have to do. And so I got to get it corrected.
I think the mirror version of him is like, stop throwing the ball to the other team.
Easy peasy. What's so hard about this game?
That's your answer right there.
Coach McDonald also talked about the game and how even though they lost, he was actually proud of the team.
I am proud of our guys' fight. They played their tails off. They played hard last of the final second after facing all the adversity that we either faced or created for ourselves. And so I just felt like we didn't flinch and just and battled. So we got the right guys. We just have to make it come to life. So but we're our backs against the walls and we got to go.
You got the right guys. Got the wrong coach. I'm kidding.
Now we're running out of time.
You go on social media, people are already like, it's time to fire. And I'm like, Pete Carroll went 7-9 in his first season with the Seahawks. He also started the season kind of strong, and then it kind of fell apart after that. So, I mean, you can't just make a knee-jerk reaction based on a tough first season for this coach. I mean, of course, I would like to see them win more.
Yeah, we just got to let it marinate for a little bit longer. A lot of people are confused as to why we didn't just kick the field goal in overtime instead of opting for trying to get a first down on 4th and 1, and here's why he did that.
That was a play call we liked. We liked the look. We got to be able to get a half yard in 2 shots. Great football teams convert 3rd and 4th and short.
And we're not a great football team. Basically, what you're trying to say right now.
And right now, we're not doing that. There's math behind. If you kick the field goal there on 4 downs all the way to field goal range, I felt like we had a great opportunity to go win it with a touchdown right there. So we went for it.
We talked to Mitch Levy earlier from Mitch Unfiltered, and you can listen to the podcast at the Daily Migs Daily Podcast at KISW.com or on the Odyssey app. And he really did break it down because I'll be honest, after when they went for it, I was not excited about that. I know the announcer we like to see this kind of, confidence, but I was just like, our offense, we've had a couple moments that have looked good, but in the red zone it has not been good, and our defense has played pretty well. So I was thinking, get the field goal and then let the defense win the game for you. They really only gave up 7 points. The field goal as well. So 10 points when it comes to during the actual game, not during overtime. So I was like, you know what? I have a little bit more faith in that. But, then Mitch brought up a solid point of, do you trust that they're going to actually get the field goal when they couldn't even get that extra point on one of their touchdowns? I'm like, damn it, I didn't think about that part.
Speaking of the Seahawks, Hall of Famer Walter Jones will be joining us for Live Night, which is very exciting, and those tickets are on sale at KISW.com.
Big Walt.
Big Walt.
Come hang out with Big Walt.
He's the coolest. December 13th, Showbox Soto. Now, we know that you are a massive music fan, Rockaholics, but do you think that you can name a song after only hearing 1 second of the chorus? Prove it, and if so, you will win tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the Lost Christmas Eve Tour, which is coming to Seattle, Climate Pledge Arena, Saturday, November 23rd. And all week long, we're going to give you an opportunity to be in the first 5 rows. Today, you've got a shot at the 5th row. Tomorrow will be 4th row, so on and so on through the end of the week. Give us a call now, 206-803-ROCK, and we will play Hook or Shook at 9:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned, and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whenever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout experience as business powerhouses like Aloe, Allbirds, and Skims. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The most magical time of the year is finally here, and Hallmark Gold Crown has everything you need to ring in the season. So what are you waiting for? Deck the halls with festive decor. Trim the tree with our new collection of over 400 keepsake ornaments. Get your gift on with unique presents and cards. And wrap up your holiday shopping with beautiful ribbons, bows, and gift wrap. No matter what your holiday traditions look like, Hallmark Gold Crown is here to help bring joy to your world.
All morning long, we have received texts and calls from you, but we have not yet had a chance to chat with everybody. But the time has come. We are checking in with the Rockaholics right now. So call us up if there's something you'd like to chime in on from this morning's show, or if you have anything on your mind that needs to be discussed. 206-803-ROCK. Brent from Port Townsend, tell us about local bands and how you discover them.
Hey, good morning. What a great show. Well, I really like hanging out at the High Dive. Going to a couple places, and like this band comes out, and I hear this song. I tell my coworker, and the next thing I know, the dude's like taking ownership over my band, telling everybody how great it is.
Like they discovered them.
Yeah, and even though I had nothing to do with their success or anything, I take total ownership for that.
Yeah, I've done that too sometimes where I'll be like, oh man, now all of a sudden likes this artist. I'm like, wait a second, isn't the whole point? I want people to like this band that I'm excited about. But then like for a half a second, you're like, you can't act like you knew about this band. I've been talking about them for years.
Exactly.
Brent, what's one of the favorite local bands that you've discovered in recent months or years?
Uncle Funk and the Dope Six.
Ooh.
That sounds like a band that Taryn would love.
Rock on.
They're great, man.
We'll have to look them up. Dude, it's funny. Like the one I remember from me, I don't know if you have one that you can remember that you kind of had not ownership of. That sounds so silly, but like like you were like banging the drum and nobody was listening. It was Aaron Jones.
Oh yeah.
And I remember it was about 10 years ago. I was having him on my podcast. I was telling everyone like, you got to check him out. And then it was a slow burn, but once things blew up, it was like, oh, this is amazing. Finally, more people are being exposed to just how talented that guy was. But when I first heard him, he put out like a CD that was produced by Sir Mix-a-Lot, but it was like, it wasn't like getting any traction. It was just like kind of out there, but it's been a lot of fun to see how much his career has blown up.
And Migs was there first.
All because it's funny. I just found it on YouTube. Like it's from 8 years ago when he was on my podcast, and like here's what he sounded like on the podcast.
And I know that you're afraid. But I'm in no rush.
I remember while watching him in the studio and he's performing, I'm just like, yeah, this dude's going to be larger than life at some point. Just so talented.
It's been awesome to just watch him springboard into success.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time.
Yeah, very cool. Aaron Jones.
Giving me the goosebumps.
Oh, dude, it was always so fun whenever he'd just pop in and I'd be like, can you play another one? Can you play? It was like I was at like a campfire with like a dude that's really talented. And I'm like, I don't want you to stop playing. Like if you're willing to play more songs, just keep playing.
Migs, what would you say is your favorite fast food spot?
Oh, the King.
Burger King?
Burger King, baby.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, locally, I really like Taco Time.
Yeah.
I love Taco Time. But speaking of Burger King, you can possibly thank them for Metallica. How so? You're going to hear from Kirk Hammett from Metallica at 9:50.
The Daily Migs Show.
The next time you're jamming out to Metallica songs and listening to those sweet Kirk Hammett riffs, I want you to be
sweet
thinking,
licks.
Yes. I want you to be thinking about something. And that is the fact that he bought a Flying V with the money he made as a teenager working at Burger King.
Huh.
Yeah, this is him talking about the guitar on Gibson TV's YouTube channel.
It's a Flying V. It's just a matter of what. Yeah, this is the one that started it all. This is the one that I used to sit in my bedroom with. You worked at Burger King for this guitar.
Yeah,
This guitar has been stolen from me twice, and I've managed to get it back. It's been lost. The airlines lost it maybe 2 or 3 times, and I've managed to get it back. Die by My Hand was written on this guitar when I was 17 years old. Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, and the Black Album, they're written on this guitar. All the guitar solos on Kill 'Em All were done on this guitar. All the guitar solos on Ride the Lightning were done on this guitar.
That's so cool.
Do you think that most guitar players save their first guitar?
I feel like a lot might. Like I know Billy Joe Armstrong, he's got like that iconic one that has like a bunch of stickers on it. It has the letter B and the letter J for Billy Joe on there. It's kind of Jerry Cantrell's got the KSW guitar.
Oh,
That's what we call it because we're narcissists over here. But it's the guitar that has the rock logo 3 times right under the guitar strings. And that one he's had, I think, forever. So yeah, I'd imagine for a lot of them there's like a nostalgia to it. But the part that's kind of tripping me out, and I would love, I'm sure there's an article out there somewhere, but the fact that at some point maybe in your life you had Kirk Hammett cook you a Whopper cracks me up.
I think that's awesome. That would be, if I knew that information, that would be my claim to fame.
Do you think there's I feel like there's probably a lot of celebrities at some point worked at a fast food place. I'd be curious to know like which one they worked at.
Did you ever work at a fast food restaurant?
Well, I worked at like a mom and pop one. I tried to get a job at Burger King and they never called me back.
You didn't have the qualifications.
I applied for a McDonald's when I first moved out here. I didn't have any. I didn't know what to do. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to find a job in radio. I tried. So I was like applying to fast food places and I wasn't getting. That's when depression really hit.
Yeah, because they didn't want you.
They didn't want me. Did you work at a fast food place?
I didn't. I worked at a coffee stand once for like a hot minute, but that was it.
A hot minute.
Literally a hot minute. It was not.
Sarah, I know you worked in the industry, in the restaurant industry.
I worked at a restaurant, a retirement home, but
a retirement home?
Yeah, I worked in the kitchen for a retirement home.
Nice.
Yes, old people get weird. They really do kind of lose it. But I did try to work at McDonald's. I really, really wanted to, but they also didn't call me back.
What the hell? We need to get those jobs, damn it.
Right? I want to make some McFlurries.
Go fulfill that dream, you guys, for one day.
That's what I've always said. If there ever comes a day, like if I won the lottery and money's not an object, but I still want to keep, you still want to do something. You don't want to just, I guess if you have a crap ton of money, you just sit around and count it. But,
right?
But like part of me would be like, it'd be kind of, I just want to work at a McDonald's and just like kind of like take people's orders and just maybe like, eat a couple fries when no one's looking.
Someone put this poor man on the fry line.
Someone make me win the lottery first.
A musical icon from Seattle just passed away. We're going to tell you all about it during the Daily Migs download after Def Leppard.
The Daily Migs Show. Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download.
AKA the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Lawn. Do we have to talk about it again? The Seattle Seahawks, man, that was a gut punch.
Yeah.
Like we were talking with Mitch Levy earlier this morning from Mitch Unfiltered, and I said, like, the game against the Buffalo Bills, that sucked. That was embarrassing. That was a tough one. But this one just hurt more. And he brought up a good point. He's like, because I think we all thought they could still win it. Even though they felt like the entire game, they're shooting themselves in the foot. There's all these sacks. There's these interceptions, these boneheaded plays on our center continues to not know where to throw the ball behind him to our quarterback. And yet there still was a chance that they could win that game. And it ended up not the case. They lost 26-20 in overtime. I guess the only highlights I would say, the defense looked a lot better, especially when it came to the run game. They looked like, a ton better than they have recently, so that was cool. And then, Jackson Smith and Jigba he had an incredible game, and more importantly, he was on Danny and I's fantasy football team, so we needed him to do well, and he sure as hell did. So if there was a bright spot, it was that. Now, what's next for the Seahawks? They're not going to lose this weekend because they're not playing. They got to bye. So hopefully they can figure this crap out and come back. Was the taking on, I think, the San Francisco 49ers.
That is correct.
That's a tough one. So if they could come back and win that one, I think we'll be in a little bit better of a mood.
Quincy Jones, legendary musician, composer, producer, has passed away at the age of 91 yesterday at his home in California.
And I forgot he's got Northwest ties. You mentioned that when we saw the story.
I think his family first moved to Bremerton when he was really young, and then Seattle. He graduated from Garfield. And then over the course of his career, he collaborated with everyone from Michael Jackson and Frank Sinatra to Miles Davis. He also produced We Are the World.
And he was the guy, if you watch that documentary, it said, like, check your egos at the door. Dude, I'm looking at some of the stuff he produced. It is like some like from one end of the spectrum to the other. Like you mentioned, Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. Then he goes to Frank Sinatra's Come Fly With Me. Then do you remember that? I'm not going to say it's my party and I'll cry if I. He's responsible for that with Leslie Gore. Then to a weird version that was kind of cool and like trippy to Summer in the City, like you said, the We Are the World, Michael Jackson's Beat It, Thriller. I mean, everything he's had his hand in.
He had 80 Grammy nominations and 28 wins in his career. Very impressive. And yeah, we lost him yesterday at 91.
And this is definitely the story of the day when it comes to idiots. A 19-year-old guy from Texas. His name is Trenton. He was arrested for a DWI charge when he crashed into a donut place called Shipley Donuts. And the reason why I bring it up is because footage shows that he hit the building. He was driving when his tires were blown. The airbags were deployed. All this stuff was going on. When he got arrested, he admitted to drinking before driving, even though he agreed to his friends to being the designated driver. Clearly, he did not know what his job was.
Oh, yeah, you're fired from that job for sure.
But here's the thing. This is his third alcohol-related arrest in 3 months. Why are you letting that guy be your designated driver?
Take his license.
So, yeah, he's been arrested. I think they should, and they probably will be taking his license. And he's had a bunch of other charges as well. Tonight, we got Monday Night Football. You got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Weather today, 57 degrees and cloudy. The DMD is brought to you by Jersey Migs. A sub above, and that's what's up. And a quick shout out to the Seattle Sounders. Moving on to the next round. They beat Houston, so that's good news, at least in the world of Seattle sports.
Let's go Sounders. Ryan Castle, big Sounders fan. He's up next with your morning 12-pack.
The Daily Migs Show.
This holiday season, give someone special or even yourself the gift of education at Pima Medical Institute, a respected medical career college for more than 50 years. Education is the one gift that gives back for a lifetime. Learn more at Pima Medical's holiday event and open house, December 4th through 5th, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on all campuses. Reserve your spot at pmi.edu. That's pmi.edu. Pima Medical Institute. You can get there from here.